So the Biosecurity for Wales project has been a bit of a game changer for us. We're really lucky to look after Skomer and Skocum Islands, really important seabird islands here in Pembrokeshire, but also in an international context as well. They're part of the special protection area for seabirds here in Pembrokeshire. I think the big change really for us has been the biosecurity conservation dog, the detection dog, Jinx, based in Pembrokeshire, and we've been able to use Jinx and his handler Greg to help us with those incursion responses. And in addition to our routine surveillance and our incursion surveillance, so trail cameras and all things we've always used, we now have a dog who can come ashore, check around the location of a wreck, can check things coming out to the island as well, can check building materials and luggage for us before it comes from the mainland marinas like here in Neyland, and before it goes off out to the islands. So Skomer and Skocum Islands are really important for burrow nesting seabirds in particular. So between the two islands we have about 60% of the world's population of Manx shearwater nesting in burrows underground on the islands. So we're particularly vulnerable to any ground predator that could come ashore, in particular rats. So brown rat would be something we would be very concerned about, and that we work really hard to make sure we never get on either of the islands. So puffins, Manx shearwaters, all nesting underground, would be incredibly vulnerable if a rat were to come ashore. Could easily go into a burrow, eat an egg, eat a chick, cause massive disturbance in one of our seabird colonies.
I'm Alice Perry. I'm the Assistant Warden of Ramsey and Grasshome Island here on RSPB Ramsey. Part of my role is looking at the biosecurity here, so I predominantly do a lot of the monitoring work for the biosecurity. So on Ramsey we have biosecurity boxes which have ink pads in. We have them dotted on the south, the middle section of the island, and on the north. So every month I go around, check those, replace the ink pads, and then record what species are recorded on the ink pads, in particular the rodents. So this is one of the biosecurity boxes that we have on Ramsey. There are several dotted all around the island, some of them by the farm buildings, and most of the other ones are along stone walls. It's just a wooden shaped box, and if you look at the bottom, there's a little opening on either side for rodents to run through. And then what we do every month, we come and check these. And we put in a little ink pad and a sheet in here, and then any rodents that run through along the box get their footprints printed on the paper. You can actually see in this box some bank ball footprints. I'll just peel it out and then you can have a look. So every time we come up to the biosecurity box, we'll take the one that's in there and then replace it, and we do this monthly. But I've just shown you the footprints of a bank bowl, but I've got one that I took out from biosecurity box earlier, and this one's got the footprints of the shrew. And you can see they're much smaller in comparison to the bank bowls. So this is a slightly different biosecurity box compared to the one that I showed you earlier. I'll just open this up for you now. But there's no ink pad in this one. We actually put tube blocks inside, and it actually has some left in there. A tube block's made out of candle wax, and then we'll usually mix the candle wax with cocoa. So it's a bit more attractive to a rodent, and then they'll go through the hole in the box, as you can see, and then they'll come and chew on the tube blocks, and you can see the teeth marks on the tube blocks, and then from the teeth marks you can identify them. And this one here is definitely a bank vole. It's got quite small teeth marks all over this, and if it was a rat, for example, the chunks would be much bigger, and they have much bigger front teeth as well.
Survival of this project, you know, the Biosecurity for Life, Biosecurity for Wales, I think this is business as usual now. This used to be a bit of a luxury. You know, we'd implement our biosecurity plan, or we might come and check a boat or put some surveillance stations on a boat like this, but actually it should be something we're doing every day. All our wardens are conscious of this and they work every day to make sure nothing goes ashore. So actually having the biosecurity hub, the training, the dog in place, I think it's definitely a long-term solution. It's definitely not sort of nice to have, it's a must-have addition to what we do already. So yeah, we need to make sure it's funded, we need to make sure it's a long-term project that's available to us, you know, going forward, to all of our staff and our wardens and all of our seabird islands across Wales.